Hey, welcome back everyone. As you know by the thumbnail that you clicked on, we got a new bike. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why I picked this bike, things I plan to do with the bike, and if I would recommend it or not. So, first off, if you're new to the channel, typically I'm doing Jeep adventures. We're rock crawling, trailing, doing some overlanding. We also have some boat and RV videos in there. But we're kind of a all things family outdoor channel. And with that being said, I've pretty much owned a bike my entire life since I was like 12, and I've owned every type. I've owned super sports, I've owned ADV bikes, I've owned dirt bikes, I've owned dual sports, I've owned chopper Harleys. And so, I'll ride them for a few years, get a little bored with them, sell them, and then get something else. And so here's the next chapter. So what we have here is a 2024 Husqvarna 401 Vitpilen, and so this thing kind of drew my attention just because of the quirky way it looked. It's kind of a modern look to a motorcycle, but the one type of motorcycle that I've never owned is a scrambler style of motorcycle, and I don't know if this really fits that, but it has adjustable suspension and some semi off-road tires, so I'm gonna say it's a scrambler. So there's really three reasons why I purchased this motorcycle, and I'm gonna go, three down to one. And probably the third reason is the styling. It doesn't look like anything else that's on the road. It's got kind of a futuristic look to it, and every time I stop and get gas, people are asking me about the bike. Before I had the exhaust that I put on there, everyone thought it was electric. But no, it's just a different looking bike, and I kind of appreciated the styling of it. The number two reason I got this bike is the tech. So many of you that are familiar with KTM, Husqvarna KTM, they use everything the same. The tech on the bikes is great. So in this small package, I get ABS, traction control. I also get rain mode, supermoto mode, and street mode. And there's basically a small tablet that you use for your gauge cluster, and it tells you anything and everything you need to know about the bike at all times. You can Bluetooth it with your phone. It doesn't show an Android Auto style feel, but it will pop up saying that you're getting calls, messages, things like that. So I really enjoyed the tech. Looks kind of futuristic on the bike, and it's nice in color, easy for you to see. And so that was a big standout for me when I went and looked at the bike. The number one reason I got this bike is the price. So typical MSRP on these is just under 6 grand, like $59.99. And when I went into the dealership to look at this, they had them on clearance, and they were $3,900. And so, when you're talking about a bike that has ABS, traction control, different driver modes, futuristic looking, fully adjustable suspension, front and back, that you can do with no tools, which is a big plus because you can kind of do it and dial it in as you're driving. You do need a flathead for the rear, but that's about it. The front you can just twist with your fingers on and off. I really like the price of this. I don't think that you can find another bike out there for brand new for less than $4,000 that encompasses all these items. And so, you know me, I like being outside. Here we are again in the Sam Houston National Forest. I come out here quite often because I live in Houston. We don't have that BDR land. We don't have that public land. Can't go ride in the mountains nearby on a bike. And that's another reason I didn't get another big bike, is because, if I was doing some touring and big ADVing, I'd probably look at something else. But, when it's all said and done, if we're gonna do some traveling, I'm taking my family with me, and we're gonna take the Jeep and go somewhere that we can all enjoy. I did want a smaller bike with the weight that I could put on a hitch rack on the back of my Jeep when I wanted to, and that's what initially drew me to this bike, is because it's not that heavy, it's not that long, it's not that tall. The Jeep platform, the Gladiator, is not that big, so I wanted something that wasn't going to be a big monstrosity on the back of the Gladiator. So what I plan to do with the bike, you know me, I like camping, so I'm gonna do some ADV riding. Not like the guys that go out west do, but I'm gonna take it camping. I'm going to take it down some trails. The Sam Houston National Forest has 85 miles of one-track trails. Now, I've never been down them. Is this bike ready to go down them? Probably not. Will I take them down them? Probably. So I just need to get a little bit more protective items to put on it before I start tackling any tough trails. You'll see on this video some of the trails that I did to get out to where I'm at, but you know, I didn't ride miles and miles of one track to get here. So things I've already purchased for the bike. It's already got a programmer on it. I've already put an Aero exhaust on the bike, and I've already put a DNA Stage 2 intake on the bike, which includes the airbox filter and the filter that's within the airbox. I can feel kind of a seat of your pants dyno add of power to it. Whether it's really translated to real power, I'm not really sure, but this thing sounded like a Honda generator when I first got it, and I really hated it, and it's probably why some people thought it was electric. But now it's got a nice poppy sound to it. I really like the way it sounds, and it's 400 cc's. It's not a big bike. I don't know if I mentioned that. So it's a 401, so you know, it's like a big dirt bike engine, kind of in a scrambler style. So it has all the power I need. I just drove it close to about 200 miles today, all on pavement except for the last maybe 10 miles. And it rides great on the road. And a lot of those miles I was going 75 miles an hour. So it is a lighter bike, you feel when cars go by. But all in all, I think it's a great bike. There's going to be some great adventures on the channel with the bike. I've already picked up some dry bags to go on here. I haven't fitted them yet to see how it's going to work, but man, the bike has a cool look to it. It's got a cool sound. It's kind of unique, and I'm probably going to push it a little further than they actually meant it to go off-road. But you know, stick around on the channel, and we'll see what we can get this bike into. So thanks for joining. Hey, like and subscribe if you like this kind of videos, because you will see this bike in the woods in the future. You will see it camping. You probably will see it laying down on its side on some trails. I plan on using this bike to its fullest, so if you want to see that, just stick around and join in.
I did notice at this point that my GoPro camera had slipped down and was tilted at the ground. You can get a pretty good idea of the terrain. It's muddy, little pine straw, big roots. Probably not where this bike belongs in stock form. I could hear me hitting the skid plate every once in a while on it as I was driving along.